Welcome to the season opener for the Stuttgart Reds softball team, and welcome SWR TV, who's recording some of the game to bring on TV. Lineup for the Stuttgart Reds: behind pitcher Jesse Weil, catcher Julie Breuniger. At first base, we have Coco Appel. Second base, Hope Cornell. At shortstop, new to the team, is Makea Cacao. Shortstop, Ani Stepniak. Left, center, and right is Kira Manske, Alia Petzold, and Teresa Pfister. Lineup for the Karlsruhe Cougars. Leading off, Natalie Sturm, followed by Nike Linhart. Ruth Siegler batting third, Julie Walter batting fourth. Carmen Thimke is batting fifth, Vanessa Heinz sixth, 7, 8, and 9, Linda Messner, Melanie Thimke, and Geraldine Kunkel. Designated player for the Karlsruhe Cougars is Sophia Jungmann. Stuttgart able to win their first two games of the season against the Mannheim Tornadoes. Game 1, 11-1. Game 2, in extra innings, 3-2. And pitch 1 is line into center field. Base hit for Natalie Sturm. Gets back past the center fielder, but not in time for Natalie to take second base. Thrown out, trying to take an extra base. Score sheet shows 8-6 for the putout, 1 out. And up to bat, designated player Nike Linhart. And that pitch, strike number 1. And a little blooper right to the first base woman for an easy out number 2. 3 pitches, 2 outs. And that brings up Ruth Siegler. And that pitch right back to Jesse, who throws it to the first base for a quick 4-pitch, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hit, or 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning. In the defense for Karlsruhe, pitching is Carmen Thimke, catching Melanie Thimke, so a sister group. First base, Vanessa Heinz. At second base, Linda Mosner. At third base, we have Natalie Sturm. Shortstop, Geraldine Kunkel. Left, center, and right is Sophia Jungmann, Ruth Siegler, and Julia Walter. They'll be facing the lineup from Stuttgart, starting off with leadoff Annie Stepniak, followed by Jesse Weil. Hope Cornell, Makeo Cacao is in the cleanup role. Batting number 5th, Aaliyah Petzold, Julie Breuniger 6, Coco Apple, Kira Manske, and Teresa Pfister 7, 8, and 9. And we're waiting on the home plate umpire. Behind the plate so we can start off the bottom of the first inning. Again, 3 up, 3 down for Stuttgart, top of the inning. right down the pipe. In German, Rex unter der Pfeife. Strike number one. Oh, umpire's calling timeout. No balls, one strike. Pitch misses inside, 1-1 the count. And a line drive straight away, center field, over the center fielder's head, all the way to the fence, and Steffi burning for third. A stand-up triple to lead off the offense for the Stuttgart Reds. Stephanie Ani Stepniak, ex-national team player. Stuttgart, of course, has 3 national team players in their fold, with one of them up to bat. Actually 4 if Jesse's sister, Jenny Weil, along with Aliyah Petzold, Julie Breuniger, all national team players. That pitch in there for strike number one. Top outside part of the strike zone. In the dirt, 1-1 to count. And a bunt right back to the pitcher. And no throw, Annie Stepniak giving the pitcher a little bit of unsecurity. Jesse safe at first, runners on the corners, no outs, and Hope Sunshine Hope Cornell up to bat. And time call by the Cougars gives the umpire, of course, the chance to clean the home plate. Good job, umpire. So, stepping in the batter's box, Hope Cornell. Hope Norn, known to be able to hit the long ball. So, any of you who've parked outside a left field fence, hope you got good insurance. That pitch just a little bit high and inside, ball one. And Jesse takes off for second. Delayed stolen base. Of course, with the runner at third, trying to get them to bait into a rundown to get Annie Stepniak home. And that ball, as I said, almost out over the fence. Almost got a car. 3-run home run for Hope Cornell. As I said earlier, Hope known to be able to hit the ball over the fence, so if you're parked out in the left field, you might want to move your car. That's the number one. 3 runs for the Stuttgart Reds. Still nobody out. And that brings up Makea Kakao, new to the Reds this year. Makea played in New Zealand over their summer, which would have been our winter. And she takes pitch number one, low and inside. Inside ball two, 2-0 the count. And ball three, 3-0 the count. Taking all away, strike number one, 3 balls, 1 strike. And low inside, a walk for ball number four. That brings up Aaliyah Petzold. Runner now at first base. Still no outs in the bottom of the first inning. And that pitch right down the middle. Strike number one. Hey, Coach Marcus giving signs. And pop up in the infield. Caught by the second base lady for out number one. No chance for Makea Kakao to advance as the ball was caught right close to first base. That brings up Julie Breuniger. Inside, ball one. Oh, quite a few pitches for the Karlsruhe pitcher. That pitch up high, 2-0 the count. Inside, 3-0 is the count. There's first strike, 3-1. Of course, Julie taking all the way. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runner at first base and 1 out. Catcher question the count. Count is 3-1. And that ball fouled out of play for strike number two. Full count. And that's over the head of the batter, which means a walk. Puts runners on first and second. 1 out and brings up Coco Appel. And she shows bunt, pulls back inside ball one. course, the bunt play a lot more evident in softball than in baseball. That pitch catches the upper outside part of the strike zone. 1-1 the count. And a ground ball right to the third base. Throws to first in time for out number 2, but able to advance the runners. Oh, runners second and third, both in scoring position for Kira Manske. See if she can bring home another run for the Stuttgart Reds in the top, or the bottom of the first inning. That pitch catches the inside corner for strike number 1. So 2 outs. Runners on second and third. A nice block by the catcher. Melanie Thimke keeping the runners at their bases. 1-1 to count. That pitch too far inside, ball number 2. Kira, of course, daughter of first base coach Christopher Manske, longtime Stuttgart Red president. And that ball foul down the first base line for strike number 2. And of course, longtime master of disaster sitting by me, Yara Drobny. And somewhere around here, the world's best photographer taking photos, Iris Drobny. You can catch them on the Reds homepage in the next couple days if you want to get some impressions of the game. That pitch up high for ball number 3. Yeah, sometimes math in school is an underrated thing. 3-2 the count. Bases second and third with Reds on them. The payoff pitch is blooped, and the pitcher, first base lady, throws it past the second base covering first, so 2 more runs score on the error. 5-2 the score, and that brings up Teresa Pfister. Swing and a miss for strike number 1. Sometimes the easiest plays become the hardest plays. First base one, of course, trying to make sure it doesn't hit the batter runner. And that ball lined into left center field all the way to the fence. And all the way from first base, Kira Manske scores on the double from Teresa Pfister. Run number 6 in the top of the first inning, bottom of the first inning. And that brings up Annie Stepniak, and he started this off with a triple. Annie Stepniak in the batter's box. That pitch high. Throw down to third. In time to get Teresa Pfister trying to slide into third, but Stuttgart scores 5 runs on 4 hits. One of them a 3-run hope run. 6-0 the score after the first inning. Top of the second inning, leading off for the Karlsruhe Cougars, Julie Walter, Carmen Thiemke, Vanessa Hentz. For those of you who've never watched a softball game before, there are some distinct differences, of course. Basically the same rule set as baseball, but if you'll notice, there's not a pitcher's mound. It's kind of flat. That ball blocked for ball number one. And of course, the pitchers throw underhand instead of overhand. The field's a little bit shorter. The base is a little bit shorter. Inside ball two, but I guarantee you that softball is not very soft. It is very hard, and it will hurt if it hits you. Ground ball right to shortstop. Step and throw in time. 6-3 for the first out. There are also different rules as far as players coming in and out of the game. You're allowed to take somebody out of the game, bring them back into the game, which in baseball you're not allowed to do. That pitch misses high and inside, but all these girls are athletes. Foul ball straight back. 1-1 to count. That pitch a little too high. Ball number 2. Outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. And call no swing for a walk. Pitch just missed the inside corner. Oh, runner first, 1 out. And that pitch misses low, ball 1. And a bunt right back to the pitcher. Throw to first in time. Sacrifice hit. Sacrifice hit, of course. Batter sacrifices themselves to get the runner advanced. So runner advances second base. 2 outs. Up to bat, Linda Mosner. And First pitch in there for strike number one. On the outside corner, no balls, two strikes. And a ground ball right back to Jessica, who throws it to first base for out number three. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second inning, leading off for the Stuttgart Reds, leadoff lady Annie Stepniak. She was at bat when Teresa Pfister got caught stealing at third base, so she gets to start over. 6-0 the score in favor of the Stuttgart Reds. And that pitch just a little bit outside for ball number one. A little bit of update on other happenings with the Stuttgart Reds. As I reported last week, the ladies started off with 2 wins against Mannheim. That pitch misses inside. Men's second team lost 2 games against Mainz, played yesterday in Tübingen and split, so they're 1-3. The baseball men's team so far unbeaten this year. That ball popped up, called for, and caught by the third base lady for out number one. The Stuttgart Reds baseball Bundesliga team winning 2 games, 16-5 and 6-0 in Mannheim, and then winning 2 against the Hunstetten Storm, 5-2 and 4-0. Batting Jesse Weil. And that ball up the middle for a base hit. So if you were wanting to watch the Bundesliga game later and you're watching now, plug your ears. A little bit of a spoiler. We're in the top of the 5th in the Reds men's Bundesliga. Ours leading 2-0. I'll try to keep you updated on that. Up to bat, 1 out, runner at first, Hope Cornell. And that pitch in there for strike number one. And up high, 1-1 to count. Of course, last at bat, a 3-run hope run for Mrs. Cornell, or Miss Cornell. That pitch misses inside, 2-1. And that one just a little bit inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. That hit deep left center field. This time not over the fence, but to the fence. And he all the way around. Will she make it home? Safe at third, safe at home. And now Hope Cotton the rundown and makes it back safe. So this time a double for Hope and another RBI, and that raises the score from 6-7, 7-0 for the Stuttgart Reds. And it brings up Makaya Kakua. And the coach for the Stuttgart Reds, Stephanie Coopers, comes out of the dugout to talk to her pitcher. And it looks like we have a possible pitching change. Or maybe not. Oh, Makaya Kakua up to bat, runner at second. And that ball grounded in the gap between short and third. And right to the left fielder. Hope no chance to make it home. So we have runners at first and third. One out and Aaliyah Petzold up to bat. And that pitch on the lower part of the strike zone for strike number one. High and outside, ball one, 1-1 to count. Inside, 2-1. Ball three. Three balls, one strike. Runners on the corners and one out. And the walk loads the bases. Stuttgart threatening to score more runs. Brings up Julia Breuninger. Julia walked her last time at bat. Nowhere to put her, so pitcher Carmen Thimke has to throw strikes. And that's ball number one. A walk, of course, pushes a run home for Stuttgart. Foul tip. 1-1 to count. The obvious advice from Coach Manska. Augen on auf dem Ball, eye on the ball. Pitch up the middle, base hit. Scores at least one and two RBI single for Julie Breuniger. 9-0 the score. Still only one out. Runners at first and second. Up to bat. Coco Appel. Coco grounded to the third base in her last at bat. One out. Are you umpires out there? That means the infield fly rule is on. Swing and a miss for strike number one. Pitch low. 1-1 to count. One and one to count. Runners on first and second base. And the pitch, foul ball. Count one ball, two strikes. That pitch high outside. Pitcher trying to get the batter to chase something. 2-2 the count. And swing and a miss for out number two. Brings up Kira Manska. Kira grounded to the first base lady who threw it past the second baseman covering first. Brought two more runs in for Stuttgart. And she takes first pitch high for ball number one. Pitch misses inside, ball two. And that fouled off. Evens the count. Oh, excuse me, two balls, one strike. That ball hit high, but right to the left fielder for out number three. Stuttgart able to score three more runs on four hits. No errors, two left on. Two innings in the books. 9-0 for the Stuttgart Reds. Top of the third inning, leading off for the Karlsruhe Cougars is Melanie Thiemke, Geraldine Kunke, and Natalie Storm. 9 to nothing in favor of the Stuttgart Reds. That pitch misses high and outside for ball number one. A little bit of questionable look from the pitcher. And that ball, line drive right to shortstop Annie Stepniak, out number one. Ground ball. The Annie Stepniak show. Ground ball to Annie. Throw in time for two quick outs. Brings up leadoff Natalie Sturm. That ball just a little bit low. Ball number one. And a ground ball off the third base. What a play! Third base lady Makea Cacao can't handle the hard hop. It jumps to let's do everything. Annie Stempniak, and she's able to come up and make a very strong throw for a 5-6-3 put out for a 3 up, 3 down inning. 2.5 in the books. Score remains 9-0. Bottom of the third inning, 9-1 and 2 up to bat for Stuttgart. Teresa Pfister, Annie Stepniak, and Jessie Weil. Teresa doubled her last at bat in RBI. That pitch misses high for ball number one. Another nice hit down the line. Called foul by the first home plate umpire. Just barely missed. That would have been another double for her if that was fair. Another good word of advice from third base coach Marcus Weil. Says keep going. But this time in the field, and what does she do? She fouls it over the backstop for strike number two. No balls, two strikes. And on the off-speed pitch, swing and a miss for strikeout for out number one. That pitch misses high to Annie Stepniak. Annie triple and a flyout so far, and a whole bunch of highlight defensive plays. And that pitch misses low and inside. Ball number two. And that off the top of her foot for a hit by pitch. And he gets first base. And as I said earlier, even though it's called softball, that ball's not soft. And it hurts. So we have a runner at first base. One out and up to bat, Jesse Vile. That pitch just high, ball one. One ball, no strikes. And that ball hit high and caught by the center fielder for out number two. And brings up Hope Cornell. Hope home run and a double so far with 4 RBIs. That pitch just a little bit high. And another high, deep fly ball. And her second Hope run in the game. This time a 2-run shot. Makes you wonder, why are you even pitching to her? The second Hope run for her today. 11-0. Now the score. And up to bat, Makaya Cacao. Makaya walk and a single. And plug your ears if you don't want to hear a quick update on the Stuttgart Reds Bundesliga. On a balk, Stuttgart able to put their first run across the board. Score now, Stuttgart 1, R2. That pitch off speed but outside. Ball one. And a high fly ball in no man's land. Fair ball. And a double. That ball went where no woman has gone before, right in the triangle between the right fielder, first and second base lady. Double for Makia Cacao. It wasn't pretty, but the score sheet shows a double, and that brings up center fielder Aaliyah Petzold. Aaliyah lined out to the second base, or flew out to the second baseman and walked. And that ground ball past the third baseman. Of course, kind of hard to score from second since the field's much shorter, but base hit for Aaliyah. Makia Cacao able to advance to third on the base hit, and up to bat Jewel Bräuniger. Jewel 1 for 1 with a single, 2 RBIs, and a walk. That ball fouled off. And again, plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. Stuttgart takes the lead in Har on a double from Moritz van Bergen. Score now in the top of the sixth inning, 3-2 for Stuttgart. That pitch low in the dirt, ball 1-1 to count. And nice catch by the shortstop. Boy, our shortstops today are making some highlight plays. Ends the inning, but Stuttgart able to put two more runs across the board on a second Hope run from Hope Cornell. Two runs on three hits, no errors, two left on three innings in the book. Stuttgart 11, Karlsruhe 0. Top of the fourth, batters 2, 3, and 4. Nike Linhart, Ruth Siegler, Julia Walter up to bat. That pitch misses low and inside for ball number one. Outside 2-0 to count. Of course, in softball, pitchers go much longer on the flat. That ball fouled out of play. A lot of times, pitchers will pitch both ends of the doubleheader. Of course, Annie Stepniak is also a very good pitcher for the Stuttgart Reds. But so far, Jesse throwing a one hitter. Hopefully, I didn't jinx it. And that ball, strike number two. And I think catcher making sure her center fielder's awake, overthrows the pitcher. 2-2 the count. Of course, fly out to the first base. Her last time at bat, and that pitch misses low and away for a full count. And ground ball 3-1. In time, third base to first base. 5-3 in the score sheet. And coach from Karlsruhe saying that was a foul ball. Umpires get together to discuss it. If you don't see it, you don't call it. So that's why the home plate umpire is asking the first place umpire. And he says, yes, it was a foul ball. So we go back to 3-2 count. Umpires can't always see everything. The home plate umpire, of course, trying to watch the pitch. And that one back to pitcher Jesse Weil, who calmly throws it to first base. Cocoa Apple for out number one. And brings up center fielder Ruth Ziegler. And she grounds to third base. Step and throw off a little bit, but no problem for the first base. Coco Appel for out number two. Two up, two down, and up to bat. Cleanup hitter Julie Walter. That pitch misses inside for ball one. On the outside corner, 1-1 to count. And a line drive to the highlight reel. Annie Stepniak caught for out number three. Three up, three down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And we're done with 3.5 innings. And the way it looks with the mercy rules in softball, that's the game. Stuttgart wins 11-0. Their third win of the season. And before I sign off, quick update. In the bottom of the sixth inning in Har, Stuttgart is leading 3-2. My name is Ken Hudson. Unfortunately, I have to leave. I can't commentate the next game. So we're going to try to find somebody to take my place. He's going to put the translate button into German. Hopefully you can understand that. My name is Ken Hudson, the voice of Stuttgart Reds TV, signing off. Wish you a nice Sunday.